Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back again with a true crime reading. This time it's on the Unsolved Mysteries, episode 8. Wait, I got the name of the episode because I forgot it already. Here, where is it? The Ghost in Apartment 14. How to write that down? So this episode is about Marliz, the alleged murder of Marliz in the 70s, I believe. And it is allegedly tied to Colleen. Oh my God. Did I write down her name? Colleen Stan wrote down her name, who was kidnapped and tortured by Cameron and Janice Hooker, allegedly. I don't know. Don't see me. Trying to get the information correct. And to make a long story short, basically, the Cameron Hooker was sentenced to 104 years in prison for what he did to Colleen Stan. She was tortured and kidnapped and kept as a kind of slave, and he was doing inappropriate acts to her for like 7 years, I think it was, while he had a wife, Janice, who was allegedly an accomplice. I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, there was a trial. He went to prison. Flash forward, years and years later, he has the potential to get out, even though he was sentenced to 104 years. Crazy to think about. And his wife had told police that he was the one allegedly who had murdered Marliz. But they can't find her body, and they're trying to find her body. There is a woman who claims to have had paranormal experiences and seen coordinates in her dreams because she lived in the apartment that Marliz was in, and said that Marliz was contacting her, allegedly, from the dead to try to help find her body. And apparently her coordinates that she got were something the police were looking for at the time, and she didn't know that until now. So I want to go over the psychic experience. I'm not saying that it's impossible to have psychic experiences, duh, of course. And I'm not discrediting this woman's experience because I don't know. It's possible that she's had a dream or something. However, the one thing I will say is her reenactment of the story is something that I do not believe to be 100% accurate. I find it very hard to believe. The reason why I found it very hard to believe is, as a psychic who's had many experiences himself, and has seen things, it's really hard and difficult for a ghost or spirit entity to move an object. Okay, like super hard. Like it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time for them to learn that skill. Most of the time, there are people that haven't crossed over yet, that are earthbound. It's very difficult for that to happen. So the fact that her story was that it was making an Ernie doll, say words. It put all the stuffed animals in a thing on the bed, and then put the Ernie doll on top, and then found a random shoelace and tied the shoelace around the Ernie doll's neck to symbolize like hanging. I just don't know if I believe that one. That's kind of extreme. It would be like one of the most craziest paranormal stories that's ever been told, because that's a lot. And then she said that it turned the burner on, and on the stove, while the TV was making static, while the lamps were going and the lights were flickering, and it was just a lot of stuff that you've seen in every movie. And I was just like, I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I do believe that the story is slightly exaggerated at the least. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe all of that was happening all the time and at once. And she said she was there for 3 months and all this happened. I just don't believe that. I'm sorry. I don't. I believe maybe one or two things could have happened. I don't know about all of them. Then she said her daughter was talking to a girl named Marliz, ended up being Marliz, when she was 3, and she was drawing pictures of her. That's possible. That's possible. That's the only part that I thought was like, okay, it's possible she was seeing that, because kids are sensitive, so it's possible. Her dreams, possible, and it's not impossible for that to happen. But yeah, it just... then she said she was crying on the pool, and a guy who'd been in an apartment complex for 20 years came over to her and was like, oh my God, yeah, no one lasts in that place for long. A girl died there, but I don't know her name. It was very movie trope. So I was just like, maybe she's a good writer, and she, was like, oh, this is like a real story, but I'm going to exaggerate it for TV. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe she thought people wouldn't believe her if she didn't over-exaggerate the story, but I just don't believe that everything she retold is 100% accurate to the experience she had. My experiences with paranormal stuff, it's usually small bursts, small little things here and there that add up over time, but to have all that happen consistently for the past 3 months, I just feel like that apartment apartment would have been something you would have been like calling TV about, like, or like being like, we need paranormal investigators here. Like, I just feel like that apartment would have been notorious and famous for that level of activity if it was consistently happening and people kept leaving the apartment early. I don't know, something a little bit exaggerated about that story. So, but anyways, we're going to do a reading on Marliz. I want to focus on Marliz and what happened with Marliz. I don't know. I didn't like research everything that happened with Colleen Stan. So if some of this information is already available, I'm sorry. This is the only angle I could think of to go with this video. So remember, these readings are all alleged friendships only, and let's get started. Okay. Sorry, I talked a lot, but I wanted to go over that because it was something I think was important. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. So this is what Marliz is. And then I want to look at Cameron here, and I want to look at Janice, and she's the Empress. Okay. Okay, so let's get started here. First of all, the 9 of Pentacles is about other people. So I see, and it's also relationships and stuff. So I definitely see Marliz as the 9 of Pentacles reverse, which means I do think she cared about other people. I do think that there was some sort of intrigue or interest in the dynamic of the couple. So perhaps she really did feel safe getting in that car because it was a couple. Perhaps she knew Janice previously, or someone previously, or seen them previously. I'm not really 100% sure. All I can tell you with the 9 of Pentacles reverse is that she was definitely someone who's focused on other people rather than herself. I do think that there was some sort of the 9 of Pentacles reverse. They talked about her relationship issues. I'm like, did they bond over a relationship issue? Because there's something about her relationship. Like, I don't know if she was venting about it, or they were talking about it, or something. I don't know. Okay. Can I be honest? I don't know how accurate Janice's recollection of events are with Marliz. I don't know about that. Because, okay, Janice is the Empress. Okay, that's like mother. That's like nurturing, right? Usually an Empress wants to nurture someone or take care of them or bond over something. So for me, it definitely feels like there's some sort of connection that they shared. I guess maybe this could just be in the short moment that she was in the car. It's possible. But there's also a possibility that Janice knew of the situation, or maybe Cameron knew of the situation, but it's possible that they knew of her situation before. I don't know if I believe that she was walking down the street and they accidentally got the perfect victim. I don't know if I believe that. I'm sorry. I don't know. The 9 of Pentacles makes me think of people knew her relationship issue. Someone knew about her issues with her relationship, or maybe her ex said something, or a boyfriend at the time said something. I don't know. But I just don't believe the story 100%. There had to have been some prior knowledge beforehand, allegedly for interiors only. That's what I feel. There was, because Empress is like, oh, I feel sorry for her. Like, it's almost like if you were scouting for the perfect victim rather than just accidentally stumbled upon the perfect victim. I don't know. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't. The only way that that's possible is if they had a conversation before everything happened and she bonded with her moments before it happened, which is possible. I just don't know if I 100% believe it. Sorry. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm moving on. The Fool. Yeah, Cameron knew exactly what he was doing. So the Fool's reversed. He was serious in nature, had a plan, enacted that plan. No naive energy here. I see that as like almost like a soldier. I don't know if he served or not, but I just see that as like a soldier mentality, meaning like I'm going to carry through with my plan one way or the other. 9 of Pentacles, inconsistency. I told you, there's inconsistency in Janice's story. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say this. I'm not trying to be rude, but I know she was granted immunity for snitching, or whatever. I don't know. Here's the thing. I just don't believe her story. I'm sorry. I don't believe her story at all. The Knight of Pentacles is inconsistency. The Ten of Cups and my happily ever after. Or that's also family. And the Strength card is vulnerability. What does she do for a living? Does anyone know what she did for a living? Does anyone know what Janice ended up doing for a living? If she even had a job or something? Because to me, when I see the Ten of Cups reversed and the Knight of Pentacles, I just gathering of information, putting a false facade of myself, having a double life. So like, first of all, the both of them definitely had a double life, but I almost feel like it's like she was able to collect information. I don't know what that means. I keep hearing Janice was an information collector. I don't know how. I don't know if this was after. Perhaps this is what happened after Marliz. Like maybe this is what she was doing when she was older and when Colleen Stan, happened. But there's something there. There's something there to me about information. Maybe she was forced to collect the information. I don't know. But she had access to information that was given to Cameron. It's like if you were going through files, someone's files or folders, and knowing stuff about them. You know what I'm seeing in my head? Okay, and I'm again, I don't have an inner dialogue, so I'm see things in pictures, and there's sometimes the metaphors are not literal, so interpret it as you will. I'm seeing a therapist gathering information about their students or clients. That's like what I'm seeing in my head. It's like if a therapist was sitting in their office gathering information about you and going through all the people. That's what I'm seeing in my head. So there's sort of information gathering. I don't know what the fuck that means. Okay. I probably should have looked more into the Colleen Stan case since it was so public, but I did not. Hindsight's 2020 over here. Okay, so Eight of Wands reverse, Page of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. It looks like the dynamic between Cameron and Janice started off differently than it ended. Okay. You know how some people like to play games or role play or like maybe even have kinks and stuff like that? I don't know which direction this was, but it looks to me like the two of them did certain things and it just escalated and escalated and escalated. Like I would see that as like, oh, we can kind of tag team each other and steal something from someone, or oh, we can like be Bonnie and Clyde and steal, we can steal from this business or whatever. Like it looks to me like there was like a partner in crime mentality. Now I'm not sure how willing she was or not, but it looks like they did a lot of stuff with each other, like together, and it just like ramped up, like, oh, go do this, oh, go do that, oh, go take this from this, or oh, go lure this person or whatever. And I think it was playful at first, and I think it amped up to a level of psychopathic behavior. So I think that's probably why she was probably in it for as long as she was, because it seems to me like, when you're conditioned to think behavior is normal, I think Cameron was very good at conditioning. So I do think that she was conditioned to think that this behavior was normal because it'd been abnormal from the beginning. But my problem here is I just think that but why was she okay with this? I keep getting back to like, but you were still okay with it, which means you weren't I'm sorry. Yes, I do believe that there's some level of manipulation, and yes, I do believe there's some level of conditioning, but I also believe that there was a part of her that didn't care either. There's a dark part of her as well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I see this, and I could be wrong, but this is how I feel. There's a part of her that didn't care. There's a small part of her that didn't care. The Two of Pentacles is reversed, the King of Cups is reversed, and the Chariot. Out of sight, out of mind. It's almost like she did whatever she could do to get what she wanted from him. So if she wanted his love, and if she wanted his adoration, she was conditioned to do what it takes to get that. But she wanted that from the beginning. Like, this is the type of person that's like, I'm going to get what I want no matter what. And if I want his love and adoration, I will do what I need to do to get what I want at all costs. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, so he did abuse his power over her. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles is a verse. He did. But the Seven of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, she didn't want to disappoint him. She didn't want to disappoint him. I mean, I guess that's slight Stockholm Syndrome. Was she like, did she grow up religious or anything like that? Yeah, it seems like a lot of like conditioning since she was a child. It seems like she was kind of conditioned as a child to kind of have certain beliefs. But I'm going to be honest, here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, okay? Yeah, you can be conditioned, absolutely. Yeah, you can be manipulated. Got it. But to be complicit in an alleged murder and then the kidnapping and torturing, there's a certain point where even a victim becomes a villain. And I just am kind of shocked that she has immunity. I'm going to be honest. Shocked. This is not a type of person that I would feel comfortable being around energetically, because people can be corrupted and this energy grosses me out. Sorry. Not trying to be rude or disrespectful. I know she's out there somewhere. I'm not trying to like cause any hate or anything like that, but to be a witness to this behavior for years and years and years and years and years and years. Yeah, no. Judgment, Hierophant, and Ace of Wands. That's the return of old behavior. So I feel like it's almost like as long as he was doing this, I think he wanted to up the ante. Okay. He wanted to up the ante because the Hierophant is a commitment. The Judgment card is what other people think and other people. And the Ace of Wands, return to the old. It's almost like they had an agreement and he was going against his agreement. And she was like, no. I think that's what caused the fallout between her. And I think that's what caused the fallout between Janice and Cameron. She's definitely complicated. I mean, does she have regrets? Yes, she does have regrets, but she was complicit. This is a morally gray area. Like, dude, this is so morally gray. Like, it's fucked up. Because it's like at one point you can see, on one side you can see what she was going through, but on the other side, what she was putting other people through. It's like, you know, if you put yourself in Marliz's family's position, Janice is an absolute monster of a human being. And you would have zero empathy for that woman and want her in prison. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a difficult reading for me. Because I'm looking at this, you have to understand something. I'm doing this reading from Marliz's point of view. And so I'm sure that Janice was a lot different in the Colleen Stan case, and I'm getting some energy from there. But I keep going back to Janice and Cameron both being monsters because this is Marliz's point of view. So, yeah, it's very hard for me to feel sorry for her as she aided the alleged murder of I think she was an 18-year-old girl. So it's very difficult for me to have empathy or sympathy for her situation. because what I'm seeing is absolutely monstrous. But anyways, Queen of Wands reversed, Three of Cups, and the Devil card reversed. She's lying. I don't know if I believe her recollection of events with the body. Maybe it's where she said it was, but she's dodging it on purpose, in my opinion. Maybe she's dodging it because she doesn't want to deal with it, out of sight, out of mind, because it seems like she's very good at... To me, I see her as someone that disassociates. Literally disassociates. If I don't think about it, I don't have to deal with it. So I think she disassociates. And I can't tell you if she's lying about Marliz's location on purpose or if she forgot. That's hard for me to see, because the Three of Cups to me is distrustworthiness. The Queen of Wands is reversed, and the Devil card, that's manipulation. That distrustworthiness and manipulation, when I'm trying to find out where Marliz is, makes me think that she lied. Now, did she lie on purpose or not? I can't tell. The Queen of Wands reversed, which means misguided energy and misguided aggression. So it's almost like her putting her anger and frustration and projecting that onto the girls rather than Cameron. Justice is upright. Two of Wands. Fuck this. Seven of Cups reversed. No. Fuck this. Justice is the justice system. The Two of Wands is reversed and Seven of Cups. That has to be realistic. There are two involved. No. Justice was not delivered because she got away with her part in this, period. We're going to end that on that part, okay? We're going to keep moving forward. Justice was not served. The Two of Wands. There was two people that were in this together. Two people were in this together. One of them was granted immunity, so they didn't get any punishment for this. Absolutely has regrets. Yeah, she has regrets for sure. The Five of Swords is reversed though, and the Wheel of Fortune. I do agree that she doesn't. Okay, here's the thing: the Five of Swords. Her details are wrong. The reason they're having a hard time finding Marliz is because she's not giving you all of the details. They are so trustworthy of Janice in this investigation for no reason. Why are you so trustworthy of Janice? There are certain parts of her story that are left out. The Wheel of Fortune is reversed because Janice is still scared and feeling guilty that she could be in trouble, even though she has immunity. The Wheel of Fortune. You need to be careful of what she's saying. Death, Tower, and Queen of Pentacles. It's possible the body was moved. It's also possible the body was moved based off of natural occurrences like rain or a storm or something, or bitch, an earthquake. I don't know. It's possible that. But King of Pentacles reversed, Page of Wands reversed, Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is like, that's evidence. Huh. You know, the truth might end up coming from Cameron himself. I don't know if there's a drawing that he makes or a statement or something. Or maybe he's already said something. We might need to rewatch. Maybe you need to watch the trials or something. There's something, I don't know. There's something he said. There's either something he said or something he will say. The Five of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Cups. It's almost like he didn't want... Okay, this is fucking weird, but it's almost like Cameron didn't want to incriminate or hurt Janice. But I don't know how long that'll last anymore. It's like the two of them turn on each other. Yeah. Six of Wands is an ego. The Queen of Swords and the Moon reversed. It's exposing a secret about the Queen of Swords. Yeah. Or maybe he said something to someone in prison. I don't know. All I can tell you is the reason the body isn't found is on purpose. Here's what I will say. This is what I do know from what I'm seeing. And I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm sorry this reading is not that great and it's not super pinpointed and it's scattered and it's all over the place and I'm probably not giving you the answers you're seeking. This is hard for me. I believe that the reason we're not finding the body is strategic and on purpose. That is what I believe. Allegedly for chambers only. And I believe that something will be exposed eventually. You know, it's quite possible that maybe... Did Janice write any books? Maybe she's going to write or say something. I don't know. But we already know that Cameron's a monster, so it's not... That's why like he's not a super big focus on here. The Eight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the High Priestess. She told someone. That's what it is. She confided in someone years and years and years ago. Someone else knows. Oh my God. Was it a family member? Someone else knows. High Priestess. It's like confessing your sins. Yeah. It's like confessing your sins. The World, the Lover's card reversed, and the Three of Wands. There's another victim. There's a third victim. I see 2 failed attempts before Colleen. I don't know if that victim was murdered or just R-worded. Or essayed. Could have been before Marliz, could have been after, but there's a third person here. It feels like, to me, if I'm being honest, the energy that feels like to me is like an essay or something from Cameron. But there's a third victim. I believe Cameron had a third victim, allegedly for chambers only. I believe there was a third victim. At least. Because the Three of Wands says that there's others. Three of Wands means others. So that could mean more than just 2. That could mean 3. But there's others. But the Lover's card is reversed, which means one off. So I'm wondering if he like was notorious for luring women and essaying them or something. I told you, they had a thing. This was not like, oh, I'm going to get in the car and we're going to lure a girl. No, this was like a ring. You know how like people have sex trafficking rings and shit? Like, it's like some shit like that, okay? Except more like, you know, just for him. It's weird. It's fucking weird. She's like the girl that lures people in. You know how like sex trafficking will have like a woman that lures people in? That's what it's giving to me. Allegedly, friend chambers only. That's what it's giving. So, I don't know. That's the best I'm going to do here. I think we're not finding Marliz on purpose. I also think she was moved somehow. I don't know if they moved her or the like natural circumstances moved her, like the earth or some shit. I don't know. But I think that Janice could help a lot more than she is, and she's not for whatever reason. I don't think Janice is innocent. Do I think we'll ever find her body? Yes, but it's going to require help from places we least expect. I don't know what that means. I think Janice confided in someone. I don't know if we'll ever know about that because I told you it's like confessing sin. So I don't know what the hell that means. And yeah, I think that we haven't found her body on purpose. As for the paranormal part of this video or this episode, I'm not getting anything paranormal. I'm not getting anything about that. So it doesn't really seem like that has too much of a relevance in this case right now. So that's what I see. I mean, that's about it, honestly. I don't know if this is a good reading, to be honest. I don't really know if I gave you any answers or just more questions. I don't know if I confused you more, so I apologize. This one is the hardest one I've ever done from this series, honestly. Might have to do another one because I think I'm going to rewatch this myself and try to pick apart what I was seeing. And maybe I'll put in the comments maybe if I have a better view of what I was seeing, post recording. But yeah, that's about it. As of recording this, actually, Unsolved Mysteries, I'll say this at the end of the video if you made it this far. Unsolved Mysteries actually gave me a shout out and reposted my stuff on their Twitter and said they really appreciate my work and that they were watching. So I'm really, really excited about that and grateful. So thank you for everyone sharing the videos. Remember, follow me on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. I stream live on pretty much all the platforms and I give readings to people that way. If you like it, you can always tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. It's about on YouTube. It's a heart. It says thanks and you can give me directly. Until next time, good luck.